got going on here, we're going to make a chicken and sausage gumbo, Louisiana style. What I've got is I got a cup of canola oil and a cup of flour in there, all-purpose flour. And we're just going to keep stirring it around. I've got my cast iron pot, which puts great flavor into a gumbo. And
this is a roux.
This is the roux right here. This is what starts all your great gumbos, your jambalayas, everything. So basically all it is you want to bring it till it's a peanut butter color. You don't want to burn it. But you just got to keep stirring it so it doesn't burn. And this takes about 20-25 minutes to bring it up to where it needs to be. So basically this is what I'll be doing for the next 25 minutes.
You said canola oil and what else?
You can use vegetable oil, corn oil, whatever, and a cup of all-purpose flour.
Yeah, so flour and grease.
Flour and grease.
Flour and grease has been the base of the southern diet because of biscuits and gravy, just regular gravy, and now roux. Flour and grease has been, and then there's always biscuits and pinto beans.
Right. So what it is this is this is the base for the gumbo. It came over from, of course, from Jean Lafitte and all them down in New Orleans. And gumbo means okra, actually.
It does?
It does.
I didn't know that.
Yep. So a lot of Louisiana gumbos don't require okra. Mississippi does. So we're gonna put okra in ours, and we'll just keep this going.
Well, how many gallon pot is that? That's about 3 gallons, 4 gallons, 2 gallons?
Yeah, it's a 20-something quart.
20 quart, okay.
Buddy of mine, Cajun buddy of mine that I duck hunt with and everything, he makes some excellent gumbos, and he gave me this pot. It's a pot I had when we used to go out to Arkansas duck hunt. Wasn't big enough to make my duck gumbo, so he said, here, that way you can make more. I said, why don't you just make it your pot? He's like, I like it better when you make it. So anyway, this is what we'll be doing.
Really starting to turn into a roux now.
So basically you want that caramel color, nice chocolate brown color. It's just about right to start adding what we call the trilogy, which is have right here. Have the onions and peppers. I like to use 2 different types of bell peppers, and then the celery. The trifecta of the base for the gumbos. This goes true for all gumbos and etouffees and jambalayas.
Now, celery has diuretic properties, and onions clean out the blood vessels of your heart, and then the capsicum will dilate your blood vessels. So it's really a trilogy of health. I don't know if a lot of people know that or not, but
well, until you get to the andouille sausage and the smoked sausage and all the good stuff that's in there. So it kind of counterbalances everything out. But you know, if you eat vegetables, it can't be all bad for you.
That's right.
But what we're doing, we're getting this up to temperature, so we can add the trilogy in there.
You look on this thing, it's got Fireside outdoor kitchen and grills.
Got royal oak. A little messy right now.
That's a hard working logo. Now this little cooker that you got here, where did it come from?
Actually, this came from Academy Sports.
Oh, did it?
It's just a little outdoor 2-burner gas grill, no bells and whistles.
Sure good for jambalaya.
It's going to be. Filet gumbo. So it's feeling a little warm in there now. The color's just about right. So we're going to go ahead and start adding. This will probably start munching up in there.
You know, the magic of gumbo is that each ingredient, you don't have to have a ton.
No, you don't.
But as you add them all together, it gets to be a lot, don't it?
Yes, it does. My biggest thing is that I always put too much in this pot. It starts off a little slow, but then it starts heating up pretty good. So what you got to do there is you got to let this sweat down and let these vegetables get a little tender. Now, just when they get about tender, I usually add fresh garlic. I don't have any with me, so this works just as good. It's just a spiced garlic you can get in a little jar. It's minced garlic. It's already minced up for you. But you want this to cook a little while before you put that in, because garlic has a bad habit of burning real easily. So when you're cooking this at the kind of temperature it cooks, to get these vegetables sweated down to the proper consistency, you'll burn the garlic. So you want to add that towards the end, and gives it a really good flavor.
Man, it's already looking good.
Now what I've done here is I've pulled my chicken. I put my my Creole seasoning on it. I've got andouille sausage in there. I've got smoked sausage. So we're going to have a nice little smorgasbord of meat in there. You can do this with crawfish and shrimp and really truthfully whatever you want. I make a mean duck gumbo that we do out in Arkansas every year. So it comes out pretty good. People like it. So basically we'll stir this around for a few minutes, and we'll add our meat and our tomatoes and diced tomatoes. And diced tomatoes you can use canned, you can dice them yourself. Sometimes I use one that's a little flavored, like roasted garlic or basil and herb.
Now when you say duck, you said duck, not goose.
No.
What's the difference in the duck meat and the goose meat?
Well, the goose meat's a lot fattier and it's a lot more gamier. It's a bigger waterfowl. A lot of people don't like goose. When I make my duck wraps, I can make them either way, and it's, you know, to the seasoned veteran you can tell, but to the average person you can't really tell. But you know, it's just a lot more gamier, and so I guess a duck will eat more good vegetation than a goose will. So goose will eat anything that's green. We have our chicken stock, which we'll add after we add our tomatoes and stuff. Add a little black pepper, a little kosher salt. We'll let all that cook for a couple hours before we add the okra in. Now we've let these sweat down for a couple minutes. It's getting a little thicker. We're going to add a little bit of garlic in here, and we're going to take it a little bit longer in here, let that kind of mix in.
And minced garlic is pretty strong, isn't it?
Yes, it is. But when you put all the meat in there and you got all these vegetables and stuff, it really, you can taste just a very slight hint of it. I just think it balances everything out. Besides, it keeps vampires away. So. You don't see me around here, do you? So, but anyway, that's what we're gonna do. We'll get ready to drop. So once we get this going, we're gonna go ahead and get all the meat in there.
Is the chicken already pre-cooked?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Normally what I'll do is you can do it several different ways, is I'll boil the chicken. I'll take that reserve stock and use it for the chicken stock rather than buying the store-bought stuff. But, you know, time constraints and being where we're at and everything, it's a lot easier. And you can make it just as good using store-bought rotisserie chicken. I wouldn't consider canned chicken, but you know, the rotisserie chicken would be good, which is what we've got in here tonight. So it adds a little bit different flavor. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start adding our tomatoes. Petite diced tomatoes.
Man, this thing's starting to look good.
So we get all that stirred in there. I'm a big fan of Cajun seasoning, so we're going to go ahead and add some more of my little mixture right here. Gives it that kind of middle pop. You know, a lot of people use hot sauce. That's kind of over the top. This is all in the meat, vegetables, tomatoes, everywhere. So you want to kind of blend all that in. And once you get all that meat stirred in really well, then it's time for your chicken stock. And when you're doing seafood, you can use different type of stock. But usually the chicken stock works very well for just about anything that you're doing as far as gumbo is concerned. See, it's starting to loosen up a little bit. Looks like Christmas in a cast iron pot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All the red and green and pretty colors.
The thing about gumbo is just a little bowl will fill you up.
Yes, it will. That's why they call it Philly gumbo. It's more like fill you up gumbo. What we'll do is we'll let this cook down. As it cooks, you know, some more of that flour will thicken it up a little bit. So you want to keep some extra chicken stock on hand if that happens. That's actually the consistency we're looking for. But like I said, after it sits for about an hour or so in here, it'll thicken up a little bit. So we'll just keep adding to the consistency of it. But that's pretty much what you're looking at right there.
Man, that's beautiful.
You can see the color of it. What I'm going to do here now is I'm going to add about a tablespoon of kosher salt. The way I measure, I get it in the palm of my hand. That's about a tablespoon. You want to use kosher salt or sea salt. Try to stay away from the iodized salt in this. It's just going to give you a lot better flavor, and it's better for you. So we'll let this cook down for about an hour or so before we add the okra to it. We've really enjoyed doing the show for you today. Hope it's been informative. And around the Killer Bee Camp, we have a little saying: we're smoking hot and seasoned to perfection. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Here we go.